here live, mic'd up savages. We back recapping Yankees Mariners in Seattle, the rainy city. We had nothing but good weather for this series, and in my opinion, a great series by the Yankees. Wasn't the result in the series that we wanted, but I'm pretty happy with the series result. Production,
Yeah,
production wise.
yeah. I think other than that game two, I'm pretty happy with the overall series. I mean, like we're not getting throttled. I think that's the thing that's most important. Like these losses are very close losses, and they're literally like you look at them, you're like we kind of beat ourselves that game. Like it
Yeah,
wasn't like the other team was overwhelming or dominating us. It was literally just us beating ourselves. And yeah, you just see that, especially in game three. You see that especially. But yeah, jumping straight into game one.
yeah. I'll talk about the pitching because I'm proud of this man. Very
Mm-hmm.
proud. All right, we have Jamison Tyone versus Logan Gilbert on the mound. Game one. I'm headed into this game, thinking kind of the worst. I was ready for this series. I was ready. Yankee fans, it's August. I didn't expect much. Jamison Tyone proved me wrong. He goes 7 innings, 3 runs, 3 walks kill, 6 punchies, 2 homers allowed. But Logan Gilbert does not get out of the fourth. He gets out of the fourth. Gets 10 hits allowed, 7 earned, 1 walk, 2 Ks, and a punch out. Yankees pitching was electric. Aroldis Chapman came in, got a clean inning, and Clay Holmes gave up that 1 run. But the Yankees did overall very well. A little nervous about Clay going forward. But let's touch on Jameson first.
Yeah, Jameson, I think he had a really good outing, a really good quality start. That's what you're looking for out of your starters. Solid seven. You take 3 runs any day of the week, especially with this. What do you expect out of this offense? He does give up a home run in the first, and that fourth was looking really rough. Made me nervous. Walks 3 guys in a row. And it kind of works into, but out of a jam, he does give up the 1 run, but you take that in that situation, right? Base is loaded. You walk 3 in a row. You're sitting there like,
Yeah.
oh no, dude, at any moment this game blow right open. But luckily, yeah, he digs deep, settles in, and then he was looking really dominant the rest of the innings, other than that bittersweet ending in the seventh where he does give up a home run for his third earned run of the game.
That was to Haniger, yeah.
Yep. So
Uh,
bittersweet ending, but hey, dude, hell of a start from Jameson. Hell of a start.
he needed
Um,
that. Yankees
yep.
needed that.
Yep. He records his 11th win on the season, which is, I think, the team leading, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is team leading and uh very impressive.
Yeah, very impressive stuff for sure. Chapman, he looked really good too, and it's looking like he's trying to find that confidence, which he's kind of been lacking
Are we
most of the
trusting
season.
him yet? With a
For setup, still has a setup spot as of right now. Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, why not? I mean, you can't trust Weisga right now. The only guy I'd say is maybe Wandy, Ron when he comes back. Other than that, the other
Lou,
guys, Trevino has been kind of sketchy.
it
Efros
is.
hasn't been too bad, but I
You
don't know
can't
if I'm
just
ready to put him set up.
yeah. I don't want a 90-mile-an-hour thrower going in as a setup role at a consistent rate. Once in a while.
Yeah,
Not
yeah. So we'll see. I mean, you never know. Chapman's starting to put it together. You can see it. He's starting to figure it out. Again, the confidence thing is huge for him when he feels like he can really control his pitches and he can. He's not really the greatest locator, but if he can get him in the general zip code, he's kind of happy with that.
yeah.
And then Clay Holmes, he struggles a bit, like we said, or like you said rather. But hey, he gets a save. That's all we really care about. Well, it doesn't count as a save, but pretty much a save, right?
Are you worried now about Clay Holmes going forward?
Not really. I mean, there's a lot of ups and downs in this season, as we're seeing in the month of August. The Yankees are 2-7 in the month of August. A lot of ups and downs, ups and flows of the season. Guys are going to get hot. They're going to get cold. They're going to struggle. They're going to be just MVP levels. That's just how baseball is. This guy was the best reliever in the game, best reliever in the AL for like the first half of the season.
Yeah.
And now he's kind of hitting a little snag. You tell you he's got to make a few adjustments.
The
But
ebbs and flows of baseball, I think, and he's just hitting it all at once.
yeah,
You just
and
got to.
I think the team is hitting it.
Yeah. And I think once we get the guys back, the goons back, we'll see some good results. Yankee offense, Murph. Very good. Very good stuff.
Very good stuff. I mean, JD, red hot, man. I mean, dude, they got him out once. And it was like they barely got him out. Like, he was red hot this game. He was doing a lot of the damage. DJ LeMahieu, he goes 2 for 5 with a run. Judgy, 2 for 4 with 2 runs of his own. He records home run number 44 for the MVP. He's tearing the cover off the ball. Carpenter, sad boy hours for the boys as Matt Carpenter would fracture his foot. We actually watched it live. How depressing. We thought it was nothing. I thought it was nothing, rather. You were concerned, rightfully so. He did fracture his foot.
But he is avoiding surgery, so
that is huge.
We can possibly see him in the last series versus Texas.
Yeah, it could be. It's 6 to 8 weeks time frame. If it is the 8 weeks, it will be that last series. Ideally, 7th week. That way, he at least gets a week under his belt to kind of get back into things. But honestly, even if he does just come back for playoffs, I'll be more than happy to take him back on the roster. This guy's a huge production for the Yankees. A little lefty power coming off the bench would be huge.
A little veteran energy.
Yeah, veteran energy. And I think his presence in the dugout has been huge for the boys. So, yeah, I want him back as soon as possible. Even if he doesn't play, just his presence in the dugout alone, I think will be huge for the boys.
Yep.
And then the Castro come in a pinch hit. Tough look to have him as your DH. Tough look.
Yep, batting 3 too, let alone that.
He goes 0 for 4. I mean,
at least he didn't K.
He didn't K. He actually hit the ball hard a few times. They're just right at guys. So I can't really complain with him. Like I said, JD, red hot, 4 for 5. He had 2 doubles. He had a double and a triple and a home run.
Yeah, single away from the cycle.
I think single away from the cycle. He was red hot. He does make a little bit of a blunder on the base paths.
No, he
wasn't he a triple? No, he was a triple away. He had 2 doubles, a single, and a home run. He was a triple away. He does cost Torres a little bit of an RBI, a little bit of a base running error on his part. Torres hit one to the wall. He was on second. For whatever reason, he tagged up instead of just going halfway. In that situation, halfway, he walks home. Unfortunately, he tags up. So he only gets the third, cost Torres an RBI, and that kind of sucks for Torres because he was having himself a night too. 2 for 5, 2 runs of his own. Benintendi looking like the dude we traded for, man. 2 doubles.
The guy that we need, that lefty guy, dude.
3 ribbies, man. I mean, his swing looks so clean when he's on it. You could tell. Definitely what we needed from him.
The new Gallo.
Trevino, he comes in 1 for 5 with a ribby of his own. He had a solid day at the plate. IKF, he gets an RBI, a little sack job from him. And Hicks, I can't really complain. He goes 0 for 2, but he works 2 really good walks in crucial situations. Can't complain at all. He's working some good counts. And I think overall, 1 through 9, this is a really solid day for the boys. You could argue LaCastro, but who cares, man? 1 through 9, I'm going to say 1 through 9, solid production.
Yep. And Yankees go 4 for 10 with runners in scoring position. I think that's pretty good compared to what we've said 0 for 8, 0 for 7, 0 for 10 way too many times this season. So yeah, I'll take that 4 runs. The rest were via the home run, or driving in guys from first base. Just hell of a job overall to go in there versus Logan Gilbert. Man, he's a bona fide. He's a few years away from becoming an ace, like a full-time ace, and being on and before this game he had like a 2.5.
Yankees beat him up. Yankees beat him up pretty good. And I think overall this is a really good bounce back game for them. This is a really good win. They had to stop the bleeding, and they did just that in this game. Good stuff from the boys, I think, on both ends, pitching and offense.
Hell yeah. I'm kind of dragging this one out because game 2 is a little sad, but no, not offensive-wise sad from both sides. The Yankees should be proud of Brian Cashman. The Yankee fans should be proud of Brian Cashman because of him going out there and getting Andrew Benintendi. This guy has been – I think this series alone, he kind of tore it up.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a solid ad, man. I think that can't be stressed enough. It's like if you really look at what we were working with before, having a guy who can hit 300, put the ball in play all over the yard, huge stuff. Another lefty, and yeah, we don't need like 7 home run hitters in the lineup, right? Just give me a handful, and the rest of the guys just need to get on base so those guys can do that damage. And that's exactly what Benintendi does. He gets on base and he hits the ball around. He does a job, and that's what I'm looking for.
Because he was making us look like the new look Yankees, man.
Yep.
Driving balls to the down the line for doubles, and for that the double slash error triple, which was just
Yep.
fun to watch him. A guy actually get a single, and
Yep.
besides Aaron Judge or DJ LeMahieu, uh,
Yep.
good to see out of the boys. Yankees win the game 9-4. Murph, game 2. We have what some people were saying the game of the year. I saw game of the year multiple. It was like actually string of tweets saying game of the year. Multiple Yankee pages said this was the game of the year. Pitching wise, sure.
Yeah, I'll give it to you pitching wise. This is a pretty dominant pitching performance on both sides.
I don't think game of the year goes for that. I think game of the year goes to the Blue Jays putting on 24 runs or 27 versus the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
Or like it would have to be a game like the Yankees Twins that one year, when they just battled it out to the 12th inning,
Mm-hmm.
But Garrett Cole goes up against, Luis Castillo, the newly acquired Mariner. We did face him once, didn't go too well for us. Didn't go well for us this time, but he did do good in his first start in the Sea Green. Garrett Cole goes 7 innings, 4 hits, and 8 punchies. No runs, no walks. Hell of an outing by him. And Luis Castillo kind of matches that with 8 innings, 3 hits. Not matches, does a little bit better. 8 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 7 punchies. Both pens stayed clean the whole game. No one gave up an earned run. That's how bad the game was, offensive-wise. But hell of a game by everyone, man.
Yeah, the Yankees pretty much had to gut their pen for this game. Just focusing on Cole real quick. Cole was back on his ace shit, man. Like this was exactly the guy we needed. The bounce back outing he needed. He was locked down, lights out stuff. You can't say anything more. I mean, if it was up to Cole, he probably would have gone out for the 8th and he would have matched Castillo, I think, tit for tat. But the way his pitch count was looking, he's at 108 in the 7th. The Yankees were not going to risk it. They would rather take the solid production he was able to give us and roll the dice with the pen.
Castillo went 109. Damn, that was hell of a game, man.
Yep, he was having a very efficient day. He was carving up the boys. Really good. I mean, the pen was really good, man. I think, if you look at it, Chapman, again, another really clean inning from him, another solid performance. Holmes looking like Mr. Automatic again. He's finding it, man. He hits a guy, but other than that, doesn't matter. He's really good. Frost, really solid performance. He gets a K. Solid stuff. Wandy, Mr. Dependable. It's looking like out of the pen. 1.1. 1 walk. That's it. But hey, he looks good. And Trevino, sketchy stuff out of him.
Sketchy. Another clean outing, though. Another clean outing.
Hey, clean outing, yeah.
Clean. I don't like these sketchy but clean outings.
Yeah, it wasn't looking great, but hey, he works into and out of a jam as he walks 2 and strikes out 1. And Loaiza, unfortunate stuff from him. You kind of like it is on him. Like you can't really say the Manfred runner because he gives up 2 hits, he gives up a walk. Like that run's scoring regardless of what happens. So. Yeah, it's looking like he needs to find it again. He's still in search mode for sure, and it definitely looks like he's got to find that confidence. Like it doesn't look like he's really oozing that confidence we saw last year. 3rd loss of the year for Loaiza. Other than that, I mean, like you said, dominant stuff out of the pen and the boys as a whole, except for offense, of course.
It's good to prove to the bullpen that you can go up against like a good, I don't even know. I call this lineup, doesn't really scare me, but they can do damage. Haniger, France, Suarez can do damage. And they don't even have everyone in the lineup. Like I think they're still getting guys back, but they're not really a feared lineup. But Garrett Cole did what Garrett Cole's supposed to be doing with the amount of money, and the bullpen did what the bullpen should be doing, and has the capability of doing day in and day out. And they sure as hell did that. That run was going to score regardless.
Yeah.
The last again, I would rather we went 12 and a third, like. Just call it kind of thing, But the Yankees offense went very abysmal, very silent. I was looking at, I was like, oh, we had 7 hits. No, the Yankees pitching gave up 7 hits. 3 hits in 37 at bats. Not very good. Struck out 14 times. The Seattle Mariners did strike out 10, so not as bad. But you saw what happened, and I think was it the 11th or the 12th inning?
You're talking about Benny getting picked off? That was the 10th.
10th.
Yeah, just the offense was quiet, non-existent, just flat out embarrassing. And yeah, like the base running error you're saying did cost us in the 10th. No way around it. I mean, you could tell Benny was just trying to be aggressive. I imagine they gave him the scouting report out of the dugout. They say, hey, this guy is pretty much just a one-look guy. He looks over once, and then you could pretty much just go. And I think if he waits literally half a second, he probably gets a phenomenal jump anyways, and he takes the bag standing.
There was that issue. And it was the ground ball up the middle.
Yeah.
And Brash got lucky on that one. He olayed that shit. And the Yankees were horrible base running. It's do or die right now. It was 0-0 ball game. This game could have gone on for another 7 innings. Who knows?
Yep.
And that ball, no other pitcher gets that. That's a lucky glove. What are you gonna do?
What are you going to do, man? I mean, listen, the base running errors are not what cost us this game. I mean, they didn't help at all, but also it's just a lack of hitting, man. 3 hits is not going to do it. The boys went 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Now, obviously, the bulk of those came in extra innings due to the extra runner on second. Yeah. But regardless, that runner on second's a free run. Statistically speaking, that run should score more often than not. And the fact that we couldn't do it, especially in the 10th, you get 2 guys on, that base running error really did cost us in that situation. No way around it. But, you got to score those runs, man. You got to do a job. It's pretty pathetic. I mean, the only guy to get a hit, only 3 guys get a hit. Judge, Benintendi, and then Duhar. That was it. Everyone else
on base 3 times.
Yeah, it's just horrible, man. You can't do it. You got to figure out how to do it for your ace. Want it, will your way into the ball game, will your way to score a run for your ace. He's sitting there pitching his
performance.
Yeah, dude, he's pitching his heart and soul out there. He's putting it all on the line. 109 pitches, like we said, in the 7th. Dude was grinding it out, and he's finding a lot of success in the bullpen to do what they did.
Hopefully that's a spark plug for him, man.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Cole. I think also the defense this game was actually really phenomenal too.
Yeah.
A lot of fantastic plays. Judgy, Benintendi, even Torres had a really good play. Hicks with the relay throw to throw someone out, right? That was this game?
Yeah, that was this game.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, huge stuff from the defense, man. You can't complain. You did 2 out of 3 of the aspects in the game, or 2 out of 4, I'd say. Mm-hmm. Base running is an aspect. They pitched well. They played hella defense. They just couldn't hit, and they couldn't run the bases right.
Yeah, pretty much summary of game 2. Yankees lose 1-0. I thought it was, very good game, from pitching. And if you like pitching,
if you love pitching, this was the game. This was the game.
You like to fall asleep on the couch, go ahead. I would love, if I had the energy, I'd love to watch a pitching duel, but I got to see some high octane offense,
Yeah, I love my offense too much, man. I mean, don't get twisted. I love when Cole goes out there and dominates and puts out a shut piece. And I will say the takeaway from this game is I just hope we don't regret not trading for this dude, Luis Castillo, because he has dogged us 3 outings in a row. Did it with the Reds, twice with Seattle. I just hope we don't regret not trading for this dude. Is all I gotta say, man. And then I just that's all I gotta say. I just hope we don't regret not trading for this dude. It was an overpay, and I'm not mad that Cashman didn't do what Mariners did, but still kind of scary to see what he's doing.
The Reds have by far one of, I think, the best farm system like anyone you could have now. At this,
yeah, they fleeced quite a few teams.
Yeah. Well, too bad. You know, you got to put out.
Yep.
But all right. Well, game 3, another great pitching performance in my opinion. I think Cortez did a great job versus Robbie Ray. Cortez went six strong innings, 3 earned, 1 walk, 10 punchies, only 3 hits, 1 homer allowed. Robbie Ray went 6 1/3, 3 hits, 2 earned, 5 walks. Shame we couldn't cash in a little bit more. 7 Ks and 1 homer. Yankee bullpen, not horrible. 1 really bad mistake pitch to Carlos Santana. That changeup leaked middle for Albert Abreu. I hope he isn't on the out because of I think it's his 2nd straight bad outing.
I think it's like his 3rd.
Could be maybe working his way out. And Ron up next. Or even Clark. Who the hell knows? And then Wandy, clean inning. But what do you think of Cortez's start? King Cortez.
Dude, it's looking like he's back to form, man. It really does look like he's having fun on the mound again. I think that's what he was missing before. It didn't look like he was having as much fun as he did, early on in the season. Like early on, he looked like he was having the time of his life. He couldn't wait to get back on the mound. And then you saw a couple games in a row where like you saw the frustration built up, yelling, screaming on the mound. But yeah, this was a really good outing from him. A little bittersweet again. His last inning, he does give up a little bit of damage, and you could tell the boys were trying to stretch him out for one more inning because we did gut our bullpen the night before. But hey, dude, this is a really good start. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, 10 punchies. He only gives up 3 runs. Again, with this offense on paper, 3 runs should be more than enough to win you a ball game. And it was Abreu who inherited the 1 runner, correct?
Yes.
It was Nestor gave up 2. Abreu comes in with a runner on, and he gives up a home run, costing Cortez one of those runs, and obviously the other run to him. And yeah, Abreu gives up his 2nd loss of the season, a blown save, his 1st of the season.
Dude,
I would say Abreu's pretty much on the way out. I think it's tough to hold on to him, especially in the month of August. Like you're pretty much just trying to fine tune your playoff roster at this point. I think they gotta wait a day or 2 more for Ron to come back up, so they might just hold on to him then, and then probably use him game 1 in the Red Sox series.
Yeah,
probably stretch him out like 2 innings or whatever, and then doses.
Yeah,
sucks. I really like the way Abreu was looking early on.
Hell yeah, he was kind of we needed him. He came back. He was happy back with the Yankees, and he did his thing. What he did for us during a few stints last year. He did have his bad outings when they were really bad. They were really bad, but his good outings, very, very outstanding. But I like you said, I don't think we can hold on to him when we not trying to jinx it, but we've seen Ron, go on absolute dominant streaks, and we've also seen him go on really bad streaks. But
yeah, I think Ron looked really rough early on, but I think he settled in really well.
Found his footing with the Yankees,
Yeah, and I think he's going to be an important part of this bullpen, especially in the playoffs. So, yeah, I think the Yankees are going to have to bite the bullet, make the tough decision, and DFA Abreu in the near future. It's going to suck a bit. Who knows? Maybe they can retain him, but I doubt it. I think another team's going to take a flyer out on him since he's been pretty effective throughout most of the season, I'd say.
I don't think he personally wants to leave, but it's if a team takes a flyer out on you, it's just what happens,
Yeah, it is what it is, man. And yeah, like you said, Wandy, another solid outing. He's been another guy who's been really dependable in this bullpen. You love it. Love it for the boys. We love it for him. He's a fireball. Love the energy. Love the enthusiasm when he takes the mound.
He's He's thrown in 42 games, man.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Like, and if you look at his ERA, it's like the blowout games where he's just, you can tell he's just mentally not in it. That's why he gives up the runs he does, is because he's like, I don't really care. I don't want to be out here.
His ERA would be so much lower if he was in every single like high octane game.
Yeah, because he lives for that, dude. That's all he cares about. He wants to be in high, like 1-run ball game. It's the ninth. I want to close it out. That's his mentality every time. And if it's like, hey, dude, it's ninth inning and we're losing 16-2, he's just like, we're losing 20-2 now. I ain't trying.
He's like, I'm throwing him whatever the fuck I want, you know?
Yeah, dude. He's like, I do not care. But Wandy's been electric for us.
Mm-hmm.
And Yankees are blessed to have him in the bullpen right now.
Beyond blessed. Great, acquisition, I think it was. Was it an acquisition last year?
Last year, yeah. We traded for him.
Yes. Yankee offense, Murph. Not horrible, but I wish they would have cashed in on these 5 walks of Robbie Ray throughout those 6 1/3 innings, man.
Yeah, just not great overall. You're looking at it. It was pretty much just Judge and Higgy doing damage. Higgy does a really good job. He works a count in the 7th, right? Yeah, 7th. He works a really good count. He gets a 3-2, and he pretty much knows Robbie Ray has no choice but to throw to him. He can't afford to walk him. DJ LeMahieu on deck. DJ being really red hot. Pitchers recognize like, hey, I can't afford to walk the 9th batter, especially looking at Higgy, looking at his stats. So Higgy sits on it, and he was aggressive, ready to hit, and he puts it out of the yard. Huge stuff from him. What's that? His 7th of the year.
He cashed in on a walk, I think, right? That was Falefa walked, and then
Falefa walked, and then he hits a 2-run shot, which is
we
huge.
did cash in.
We cashed in on one of the walks, and then LeMahieu obviously gets out, but then Judgy comes in, and you hang him, we bang him, man. I mean, first that reliever comes in, first thing he does, he hangs that thing middle, try to get me over, and Judge says, "No, dude, not against me. I'm not that guy." And he sends that thing, yeah.
Low key, I do see some Seattle Mariner fan pages, and they're like, "Why are we hanging the slider to him? Like, what's gonna happen. Like, they know it's gonna happen, dude."
Yeah, and that was Murphy, spelled Fee, freak. I do not claim him. He's not one of us. And it shows as he hangs one to the MVP, number 45 on his head. That's what you get.
Guys, if you ever meet Murph in real life, his first name is Murph. I still have, I've known him, 2 years, almost 2 years now, 3 years now, and your name's Murph. He has no first name.
No first name. It's Murph. It's only Murph.
Just Murph.
Just birth certificate says Murph.
Going forward, rest of the way. Well, first, Yankees lose 4-3. Going forward now, we have the Boston Red Sox. We have an off day today. I think is Boston in Boston? It is. Yes, in Boston.
Okay.
We have Domingo versus Evaldi. Montas versus Cutter Crawford, our boy. I don't think we should watch that game because last time we watched the Cutter Crawford game, we didn't see anything. And then Game-O in Game 3. We got to take 2 or 3 here and get ourselves back. I think we can. Why not? Why not, Mark?
Yeah, why not, man? I mean, Boston's in last place in our division. Who would have thought that? The Orioles are sitting third, man. Dude. Who would have thought that? I mean, they're
in third?
They're in third. They are tied with the Tampa Bay Rays at 58 and 52. They have a better win-loss over the last 10. I think that's why they get the kind of heads up. So they are in third. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. I mean, dude, I think this Boston series is going to be kind of important. It's going to be kind of a wake-me-up series for the boys. I think hopefully Stan should be back then. We saw Rizzo back. Rizzo didn't look like quite himself, but, understandable first days back from back stiffness. You kind of got to get back in the groove of things. You're seeing really good pitching. I mean, Robbie Ray's no slouch. He's the reigning Cy Young winner, and he looked like he's returning to form, especially this game.
I didn't know Rizzo was back this series. I
He
kind of
was
missed
back.
that.
He was back. He was back in game 2. Or was it just game 3? It was game 2. Did he go in game 2? It was just game 3. Take it back. Just game 3. So, yeah, it's just game 3. He's been out for 4 or 5 games. Understandable. He's shaking off the cobwebs. Cy Young pitcher. He's facing some nasty pitching. So, yeah, I'm not too mad at it. But I think he will have a day in Boston. I think the boys overall should have a day. I mean, these Boston guys, they suck. No two ways about it. They're trash. Their pitching's awful.
Yep.
Let's just go bang the ball around the yard on them.
And the offense is kind of unmotivated, so let's go and beat them. They lost Hosmer now, too, to injury.
Did they?
I think he got put – let's see real quick because we're wrapping this bad boy up efficiently as always because we're the best podcast there is. Consistency is key. Let's see. Eric Hosmer. They signed Familia. They activated Barnes. Yes.
I thought Familia went to the Cubs.
Tuesday the 9th, Familia signed to a minor league contract.
Nice.
So they reinstated Matt Barnes is back, I think, or going on a rehab stint. But Hosmer got taken out of a game for an injury, but I guess he's back now. So they do have him. Correct me. Yeah. Correction. Not correct.
Correct me. Correct me.
Correct me if I'm wrong, which I am. Hosmer is back now.
So, yeah, I think the boys should definitely take 2 out of 3 at very least. There's no reason why they shouldn't be able to sweep them even in their current state. Even if Stan doesn't come back, I think there's a really good chance they should sweep these guys because these guys are some dog. They're horrible. They're bad. And I hate Boston, man. Go in Boston, embarrass them, man. Keep it going. Shove them into the dirt.
Once we get Stan back, it's going to be the first time that we have Benny, Stanton, and Rizzo in the same lineup. And Judge, of course. But I'm just saying, like, those 3 guys are finally here. I think that'll be fun to watch. It'll be a great first game, hopefully. And I'm looking to see Montas stand out in game 2. You know, I think
he needs to bounce back in a huge way, for sure.
I'm not going to hit the panic button on him either. You know, new team. You know, got to get acquainted with. You know, first, second, third, start, whatever. I'll give it to him. But come September, he better be rocking and rolling for the Yankees.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see his other matchups. I don't know if he's going to end up pitching against Toronto, but if he does, that'd be a huge thing to watch. If he does pitch against Tampa, that would be also a huge thing to watch. So, yeah, it's exciting stuff. You know, I can't wait to see him actually, like, comfortable, settled in, ready to go. Obviously, game 1, circle, whole bunch of things. Can make a whole bunch of excuses. Either way, we're just going to give him the pass, the blanket. Hey, you get one. You get one really bad one. And we'd like to see you at least put out 5. I'm not saying you got to be like no, or even 7 innings. Just give me 5 decent innings.
I thought you said about game 1, like Herman, like we're giving him like I'm not giving this man a pass.
Herman's different, man. He's a bit of a clown, but yeah, just I'm not too. I know other Yankee fans are worried out there. The boys are 2-8 in this last 10. Like I said before, they're 2-7 in the month of August. They're 13-13 in the month of July. So yeah, it hasn't been the prettiest of baseball last 2 months, but plenty of baseball left. The boys have more than enough time to turn around. They are only half a game out of having the best record in the AL. So there's that. And there's still 10 games over Toronto, people. Like, Toronto has been horrible, too. People don't – like, Toronto's been just as bad. I mean, Houston has been laboring. They've been 5-5 their last 10. So most of the top teams have been struggling, like, with the exception of, like, the Dodgers and the Mets and St. Louis right now. Yeah. Everyone else has kind of been laboring. So, yeah, don't hit the panic button, people. I know it's really tempting to just cry and bitch and complain. No reason to. The boys are still fine. They're still the boys. They're gonna bounce back.
It feels as though like this baseball season, everyone's been kind of playing at the same level. You know, there's been like the really bad teams, but the middle of the pack has stayed at the same level throughout the same season, throughout the year. And normally they go on a streak, some teams, and make a run, which again there's still time for runs for like Boston. They're only 5 games out of a wild card. Texas 9 games out. They still can make a run. It's just it's unlikely one, but it just feels weird this season. I don't know if it's the playoff format or it's the
Yeah, I'd say it's a playoff format for sure. It's weird because you're not used to having to add like another wild card.
4 extra teams.
Yeah, so it's just weird.
It's
But yeah, I mean,
teams, right?
huh?
It's 2 extra teams, right?
Yeah, it's the 3 division winners and then 3 wild cards.
Yeah.
And the 2 best records overall in each conference will get a bye. So right now it'd be the Yankees, Astros would get a bye, and then the 3 would play the 7. No, the 3 would play the 6. Wait, no, I'm confusing myself.
3 would play the 5, and the 4 would 3.
3 play 6, 5 and 4 play.
Yeah.
One of those would move on to play the Yankees, Astros.
But it's a don't forget, guys.
3 games.
3 game set.
And it's in the team with the best record. So in this situation, let's say it'd be the Orioles, or excuse me, Toronto versus Seattle. No, it'd be Toronto versus Tampa, let's say.
Yeah.
And then all 3 games would be played in Toronto. So yeah,
who's Cleveland playing?
Cleveland would play. Oh no, Cleveland would play. Let's say Tampa because they got the better record, and then Toronto would play. Let's say.
How the heck is this going to work? Or no, because 2 teams are tied. 2 teams are tied, so it's only 3.
Yeah,
it's only 3. So it would be 3
It'd
versus
be
4.
Tampa and Baltimore. Like, let's say playoffs started right now, right? Let's clean this up. We're confusing everyone, including ourselves. Playoffs start now. The Yankees, Astros get a bye. Astros would be the number 1 seed, Yankees 2.
Yeah.
The 3 seed would be Cleveland. They would play, let's just say it's the Orioles as the 6 seed. So they would play the Orioles.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it would be Minnesota. I already fucked it up. It'd be Minnesota in this situation. No, it wouldn't. Seattle's there. Damn it.
Just pretend Tampa's not there. It's just
so it would be the Orioles.
Yeah.
Let's say they play the Orioles, who are the 6 seed. Cleveland, being the 3 seed, would play the 6 seed. Baltimore Orioles, they would play in Cleveland.
And then you have Toronto, Seattle.
Would be the 4th seed. They would play Seattle. No, Seattle would be the 4th seed playing Toronto in Seattle.
And I think we play winner of 3 and 4.
We would play the winner of 3 and 4. We would play the winner of 4 and 5.
4 and 5. Yep.
Jesus. I'm sorry for whoever had to listen to this verbal diarrhea that came out of our mouths.
We just got throttled by this diarrhea.
We're all over the place. But anyways, the playoffs are confusing, understandably so. But like right now, just know the Yankees are going to get a first round bye. Like no one's in this division is going to catch up to us unless they go on an absolute stinker and lose out, which would be actually not impressive, and they wouldn't deserve to make playoffs anyways. But yeah, the Yankees could finish under the rest of the season, and they would still make playoffs. They would still be the first in the division. So people stop stressing. There's plenty of baseball left in August. Like I said, would expect them to finish around 500. The way the front office is operating at this moment in time in the month of August, they just want guys to make it to September. They want them to make it to October, more importantly. So they're willing to forego games. They're willing to get guys extra rest. Like Rizzo, he was probably ready to go like 2 games ago. But the Yankees, being the Yankees, are like, dude, unless you're 100%, you're sitting on the sideline. And we saw that with Severino, right? Severino probably could have been ready to go next week and a half, 2 weeks. But they're like, no, Sevy, you're coming back in September, buddy, because we don't care about August. Can't stress that enough.
At least they're taking precautions. I'd rather
They're playing this super conservatively.
September,
They're not willing to risk it. They could care less about a win record. They're like, screw that, because you can go and break that record and then get bounced in the first round. Yankees have been bitten, but yeah. So let's not even mess around with that. Let's just go in, do our business, make sure the boys are right, make sure everyone's healthy. So yeah, no complaints, not hitting the panic button. I know it sucks as a fan because we want to see the boys winning every series again, like they were in, April, May, June, especially June, where they were 22-6. The glory days.
Guys, trust me.
Yeah. they will start getting on their winning shit again. You'll see in like a week's time, this team will look a lot better. They're going to be still playing just as hard as competition, but I think they will step it up sooner rather than later.
Yep. Well, Murph, that about wraps it up. Our next series, I think, ends on the
Sunday.
What?
Isn't it Sunday?
I think it's on Sunday. Yep. So our next podcast is either going to be Sunday night or Monday night. We'll discuss that on our own. Thank you for joining me here today. Thank you all for watching. 3 subs away from 300 subscribers. Thank you all for watching. See you all in the next one.